How to know people have been talking about you behind your back. In this video, I'm giving you subtle signs that you'll notice along with your intuition when people have been having conversations without you in the room. First off, I'll start this video by mentioning that not every conversation that's held behind your back is not done with malicious intent. All right. Sometimes people can just tell a story about you, how you reacted to something that you've done or said, but it's not with the intent of making people perceive you in a negative light or painting themselves as a victim. Sometimes people just have stories. Sometimes people just have opinions, right? So just because a conversation has been held about you behind your back doesn't always mean that that person is your enemy. All right. When a conversation is held that has the intent to make people perceive you a different way, right? With the intent to make people perceive you in a negative light, that is the type of conversations and situations we're talking about today. Number one, the first sign, how to know people have been talking about you behind your back, is if you feel it in your intuition. Okay, nothing is stronger than your intuition. And I encourage you to lean into those feelings that you're having within. There have been so many times I just figured that someone had a conversation, a negative conversation about me, and something in my mind even told me who it was with. And when I found out that what I was thinking was true, it just reminded me to never question my intuition. When you feel like something is happening or when you feel a shift in the dynamic between you and someone else, most likely what you think is happening is actually happening. Number two, how to know people have been talking about you behind your back. Let's say you have a certain someone in your life, whether it be a friend or a family member who you are really close to, right? Y'all always go over each other's houses. Y'all share common interest. You tell this person everything. They tell you everything. And y'all know each other like the back of your hand, right? But something happened on that timeline that changed the dynamic of your friendship forever. It may have been, I don't know, a breakup. It could have been a disagreement. It could have been something that that person just judged you for. But after that certain thing happened, all of a sudden you started to feel very distant from this person. So let's say whatever happened already happened, right? But you never actually got the chance to explain yourself to this person, or y'all never really got a full understanding or closure from the situation, right? It kind of just got left in the air. The reason why you're all of a sudden feeling distant from this person, right? Spiritually distant from this person, physically distant from this person, is because they're not actually having the conversation with you, right? There is no understanding. There is a miscommunication, and it keeps on growing as time goes by because they're talking about the situation with everyone but you. They're getting everyone's opinion but yours, right? So it's just a miscommunication that keeps growing and growing over time. They think they have the situation figured out, but they really don't, because they don't even know your opinion and you're the person it involved in the first place. Now, when you feel in your heart that someone you're close to is spreading your business, gossiping about you behind your back, or having a strong opinion about something that you did or something that you said or something that you told them, I'm going to tell you right now, the moment you feel like that, stop telling that person your business. Stop telling that person what goes on in your friendships, in your relationship. Stop bringing that person around, because they're just, at this point, collecting things to tell someone, right? They're collecting stories. They just want to make someone laugh. They want to be entertaining. They want someone to talk about, right? And if you think you and that person are close, but that person is actually using you for an entertaining story or a reason to victimize themselves and make you a bad guy, number one, they're a hater. They're not your friend. And that is no one who should actually know your business. So once again, you'll have a feeling that someone is talking about you behind your back if all of a sudden you feel distant from this person. All right. The reason why you're feeling so distant from this person is because they're having conversations with every single person except you. And the reason why they can't have these conversations with you is because they're about you. So, number 3, how to know people have been talking about you behind your back. All right. Now, this may sound a little diabolical, but it's really just reverse psychology, right? And I use this technique when I have a feeling that someone has been spreading my business or telling the story in a way that's completely not true or that makes me look like a bad person. Now, it's crazy, but every time I've tried this on people, it worked. And it proved to me that I was right all along, right? So, for example, if I feel like someone has said something about me behind my back that was unjust or made me look like a bad person, and it's really a complete miscommunication because they haven't got my perception at all, I'll go to them and I'll say, I'll come to them like I'm trying to, clear the situation and, communicate my opinion about that certain scenario. And I'll say, well, I know you already talked to so-and-so about this, but I just want to tell you my side, right? I'll say that. I'll already tell them that I know they've been talking about me, and I'll say exactly who. Right? And now this is risky because you can obviously be dead wrong. But when you have a feeling and you know you're right, just go ahead and take the risk because I've been right every single time. So once again, I'll go to that person, like I'm trying to have a conversation, and I'll say, well, I already know you had a conversation about so-and-so about this, but I just want to let you know what I feel about it or my side. And if that person doesn't stop you right there and say, wait, I didn't talk to that person. Or what you mean? I ain't talking about the situation. Or, if they deny it, then okay, well, it's not true. But if they don't deny it and they just let you keep talking, that's obviously a telltale sign that yes, they did exactly what you told them they did. And once again, I've used this tactic on another person because I felt like someone I was with was going around telling a mutual friend about the situation, but was being completely dishonest about it, right? Like, first of all, why would you leave me out of the conversation? And I was there, so just that alone let me know that a dirty conversation was being had and I wanted to, get to the bottom of it. So I basically went to the person that I felt like my friend told, right? Now, obviously, I did not tell this person what happened, or I didn't, have the conversation with them. So technically they shouldn't even know, right? But once again, I used the reverse psychology and I made it seem like I already knew that they had the conversation and that they already knew what happened. So I basically was like, well, I already know that you and so talked about it, but I just want to say that, and she did not stop me. She just nodded and smiled and it let me know that yes, her and that person, that exact person actually did have the conversation, because if it wasn't true, she would have stopped me in my tracks and been like, hold on, I ain't say that, or we never talked about it, or I don't know about that. right? So sometimes you have to use a little bit of reverse psychology to get answers out of people. Make people feel comfortable, like you don't care if they know, or you don't care that they talk to so-and-so about the situation behind your back because, it's bigger than that. But when you actually find out that they had the conversation without you being there, it should actually make you look at that person a little bit different, because why did you have to have the conversation behind my back? And I was the one there. You weren't there. You know what I'm saying? So what did you hear? What did that person tell you about me? Right? And once again, this is for your own intuition. This is for your own discernment. Like, you have to actually feel like someone does not have your best interest at heart to even investigate something like this. Like, if I knew that it really wasn't a big situation, or it wasn't that deep, I wouldn't even care to find out if people were talking about me behind my back. Like, I don't even care, like if we all know each other, I don't care. But if I actually feel like this person is trying to make me look bad, or trying to make them look like a victim in this situation, or just being just completely narcissistic and untruthful, then yes, I will investigate. And every time I get to the bottom of it, I'm always right. So another way to know people have been talking about you behind your back is if you are in a room with two people that know you very well, right? Now, normally when you're with one of these people at a time, y'all are talking, y'all are very opinionated, very bold, y'all be cussing, y'all be saying your opinions on things, y'all gossip, y'all talk about everything, right? Y'all can really vent to each other. But when this person is around that other person, for some reason, when the both of them are around you, they're a little bit more reserved. Their answers are more political, very surface level. They don't really get into their true opinion on anything, especially if it has anything to do with you. Especially if it has to do with you, because they don't want to show their card, right? Now, if they've been having conversations about you behind your back, it's a little bit awkward to talk about it with you, because it might out the other person, because one of those people may know something that they're not supposed to know, right? They could have been told something that they weren't even supposed to find out in the first place. So these people will choose their words very wisely so they don't show their own hand. And also, you'll notice certain gestures that they'll do when they're trying to keep a secret, right? So let's say you say something, or you do something, or you say something intentionally about a situation that one of those people should not know about, right? You say it, and then you look at them and they look at each other, right? Or they look at each other and smile, or they start laughing. Both of them start laughing. And it's like, wait, why are y'all both laughing? I ain't tell one of y'all about the situation yet, so why do you know about it? Right? Or the person who really feels guilty, right? The one that actually told your business and brought up the situation to the other person without you being there, they'll try to be slick by not looking at that person. Like, they'll do the exact opposite. They'll be stiff, right? Or if y'all are having a three-way conversation, they won't even look at that other person to even signal that they've told that person too much, or they've had a conversation. They'll try to set up their body language so they're as aloof as possible, so you don't even make the connection. But when people do too much of anything, it's like they end up exposing themselves anyway, because body language does not lie. If you look uncomfortable, you probably are uncomfortable. Last but not least, how to know people have been talking about you behind your back. Now, this last example is a little bit different, because I'm not just talking about one scenario or one situation, right? I'm talking about months and months and months of conversations, of plotting, of this evil intent going on behind your back that people will actually try to protect, right? So let's say someone comes to you and they say, well, so-and-so told me this, right? And obviously, if someone told them that, it takes two people to have a conversation. They had a conversation about you as well, right? Now, the thing is, these people will say, well, don't go back and tell that person, or don't say nothing if I tell you this, right? And they'll try to silence you so that you don't ruin the relationship that they have with that other person. Because if you say something, right, if you confront that person and if you blow the spot up, then they can no longer have those conversations and that person will no longer trust them. So you can go about this in two different ways, right? You can do exactly what they told you not to do, and you can go straight to that person and confront them and say, well, what did you say about me? Why did you tell this person something I told you not to say, or something I told you in private, or whatever the case may be, right? Now, that may or may not cause a rift in their relationship. Like, that person may think, well, man, I can't tell this person nothing. Like, they always spill the beans, or, something like that may happen. Or the opposite may happen. They may try to be even more slick about these conversations. So the conversations will still be going on, right? They're still being had. It's just that now this person will actually never come to you ever again and expose information because I guess you had a big mouth. And the second way to go about it is to not say anything at all, right? Use that person as your worker. Use them as your pawn. Okay, you are associated with people that obviously don't like me, obviously talk about me, and you probably talk about me too. But instead of burning that bridge, I'm actually going to use you now, right? I'm going to make sure that you come back and tell me everything that people have to say about me. And I'm not going to blow your spot up. I'm not going to blow up your position. I'm going to keep it a secret. But now I know, what the streets is saying because you're basically my rat. So, yes, you guys, that was my interpretation of how to know people have been talking about you behind your back. If you resonate with any of these examples, then let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Or if you have your own unique stories, then make sure you comment that below as well. So once again, thank you so much for watching my channel. If you are not subscribed already, go ahead and do that. And if you know anyone that needs to hear this message, then don't hesitate to share this video. Always remember, grow in peace, and success is a journey, not a destination.